Yes, and we are live. Good news, everyone. Hello, and my name is Ricky Doolan, and I am British. How you all doing? Welcome to the Friday night live stream. I just realised you really didn't hear any of that song. Land of Hope and Glory was playing in the background, but I don't think you guys heard a single second or note or beat of that song. Technical issues, but we're trying. So just drop me a comment if you're in here. Let me know that you're here, where you're watching from. It's an interactive broadcast, and it'll be good to see your comments. I'll read a few out throughout the broadcast as well. Got a lot to cover today, and it's just good to be live with you. And I Am British, of course, is the movement and the platform that is designed to stand for British values, democracy, and traditions, as well as freedom of speech. It's very much a freedom of speech platform. Usually I've got different people that come in and we speak together. I've got Based and Bougie, Bishop Dewar, the Baraka from the Baraka Show. Richard Inman is coming on soon. Danny Roscoe too. A lot of great commentators from around Britain that are coming to be a part of I Am British, because it's a freedom of speech platform where we get to speak what we want to speak, about what we want to speak, without fear. Because remember, Keir Starmer said this very clearly when he was in that White House with Donald Trump in front of the world. He said he's very proud of Britain's freedom of speech. Therefore, we will follow the pride of Keir Starmer, two-tier Keir, by exercising that freedom of speech at every single opportunity. So just drop me a comment if you're live, and also let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me clearly, or if the mic's too loud, or I don't know, whatever it is. But just let me know you're live. Just drop me a comment. We're live on X and we're live on YouTube. So we're going to get into a lot today. We're going to get into the assisted dying bill that has happened today with the vote in the House of Parliament, with the MPs, and just dark stuff, really dark. And to see that the majority of the House have voted in favour of assisted dying, which is really assisted suicide. So we're going to get into that, all right? And we're also going to get into, it's been a bit of a dark week, to be honest, in Britain, but it goes further to highlight the problem that we've got in the Parliament, in the Houses of Parliament, the problem that we've got in the government, and in that wonderful building that they call the Houses of Parliament, that is being degenerated by the people that are inside of it. And the people inside of there, it's quite shocking, to be honest, how the majority of the people inside of there really don't represent the British people. It's just it's a very sad state of affairs. But guess what? This is the good news, is we get to change it, all right? We get to change it. It's on us. We can change what the future of this wonderful country we call Great Britain is going to be. The power is with us. That's democracy, right? So we are still a democracy for now. So while we're still a democracy, we can take back the power of this country through the voting booth, through democracy, through politics, and we can bring our country back to some level of sanity and some level of greatness. Because remember, this great country of Britain, with its wonderful Christian culture, has set the standard around the world in modern day history, throughout history, in fact, for what a good society looks like, what a good culture looks like, which is one of the reasons, if not the biggest reason, why people from all around the world have dreamt of coming to Britain, even to this day, are fleeing and flooding into Britain, all right? Because it is, don't let them lie to you. You know, it's been such a long period of attack on Britain and demoralization of us, the British people, to say that, oh, you're a racist people, oh, you're an evil country, all this and all that. It's lies from the pits of hell. Take no notice of it. Britain is a wonderful country. It's made a wonderful impact on the rest of the world, and is what still today one of the most desirable places to live in the world. All right. So we want to get it back to that place because we can see bit by bit the globalists, the Islamists, all of these type of people in the woke mentality, the woke mind virus is like a cancer just ticking away, biting away, chewing away at our wonderful nation and our wonderful culture. But we, the people, we, the British people, we get to say no more. We get to say enough is enough. And we do that through politics. We do that through platforms like I Am British. We do that through cultural movements like Unite the Kingdom. And each and every one of us is important in this. Each and every one of us is valuable in this fight for our country, for our democracy, for our nation, for our people, and for our culture. And we must stand united. We must stand together. This is our time. This is our moment. This is our chance. Okay? When it comes to the next election cycle in 4 years' time, we got to be ready. We got to be ready to do what we need to do. And there's a lot of movement, of course, in the political sphere. So anyway, we're going to get more into that, all right? But we're also going to talk about the other terrible decision that's been made in the Houses of Parliament today, which is, not today, in this past week, which is the abortion bill, that you can abort now legally in Britain a child all the way up to birth. It's hard to believe that this has been passed. So a child that is 8 months, 8.5 months, still in the womb, a fully formed human being, fully formed baby, that is ready to come into this world and take his or her first breath, is allowed to be aborted. And the overwhelming majority of the politicians in the House of Parliament voted in favour for it. It's madness on a rampage. It's absolute, total, chaotic madness. All right? So we're going to talk about that too. So just drop us a comment. I'll be sharing a few videos as we are going through this today. I think while you do, and I want you to do me a favor before we get into the first topic. I want you to share this broadcast somewhere to somebody, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on X. If you're on X, just retweet. If you are on YouTube, just copy that link, share it with somebody, put it in your WhatsApp group chats, put it somewhere. We're going to get into the conversations that matter for Great Britain. We're going to get into the conversations that are difficult, that people are avoiding, and we want to get right to the bottom of it. And we don't pull no punches, and we don't mince our words, and we don't act politically correct. No, we say on I Am British what we need to say. All right, but first I want to play you the song, seeing as though I missed out on this song at the beginning. Let me play this for you. Because it's a beautiful song. And while I'm playing it, just share the broadcast somewhere. Beautiful. Look at that. All right, as beautiful as it is, I get. All right, beautiful from Night at the Proms. Wonderful patriotic music of Britain. Very special stuff. Now, in fact, before we get to this, let me just talk about, while we're talking about patriotic, let me just talk about this quickly. So basically, Unite the Kingdom is coming soon, all right? For those of you that have not yet plugged into Unite the Kingdom, where have you been? I'm sure most of you have anyway. Unite the Kingdom is the cultural movement led by Sir Tommy Robinson. Did I say Sir? I mean, okay, Tommy Robinson. Soon to be Sir. The cultural movement led by Tommy Robinson, which started last year in June 2024 and has held since then 3 of the largest patriotic events. We'll call them events because they're not really rallies. They're events that celebrate British culture, that unite people of all races, of all faiths, of all backgrounds, and unite people under the banner of this wonderful flag that we call the United Kingdom Great Britain flag, and celebrate this wonderful, rich culture and heritage and values of Britain together. So the first one, 30,000 people, Parliament Square. The second one, over 100,000 people in Trafalgar Square, and a million watching online on X. The third one, Whitehall, 200 to 250,000 people were there, and a million watching online again. Next one, September the 13th. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. They're exciting moments. They're special moments. It's a celebration full of music. I'll be there with the gospel band singing as well. There's other people singing. There's a lot of speeches. And this one on September the 13th is extra special because it's been dubbed as the Freedom of Speech Festival. So people are coming from all around the world, including Jordan Peterson, Dominic Tarchowski, to speak at this event. So you have got to be there. So make sure that you have your heart, you have your family, you have your friends, and you're coming to London for September the 13th. The best thing I can advise all of you now is book your hotels right now. Let me see if I can find the promotional video while we're talking. I'm sure it's on my Twitter somewhere. So this thing is important. This is the British people uniting, waking up, realizing who they are, realizing who we belong to and who we are, and the power and strength we have collectively. It's the coming together of the silent majority, just like what happened in America with MAGA. Well, it's happening in the UK with Unite the Kingdom. So be a part of it. Be there on September the 13th. It is something that is so important. Okay, let me show you this video. Okay, this is on X. I hope you can hear it. Tell me if you can't. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful event full of beautiful people, and you get to realize and remember that we are a great people and we do have a great culture, and we've just been told for the last 20 years that we don't, but actually we do, and no one can take that away from us. And it's very important that we remember that, and it's very important that here it is. And it's very important that we don't let anybody take that away from us. We should be proud of who we are as the British people. We should be proud of the country that we are from, which is Great Britain. And we must stand united to take back power of this nation democratically, to take it back from the globalists, the Islamists. And don't think for a minute the globalists are not financing all of these organizations, these political activism organizations, these Antifas, these nonsensical pro-Palestine and these anti-racism people that are actually racist, and the anti-fascists that are actually fascist. They are being financed by these globalist organizations and individuals, all right, to break down British society and British politics in order for this communist socialist system, this globalist system, to be rolled out and steamrolled through Britain and Europe and the West at an allocated time. Do not be blinded to this reality. Not only that, you have the Islamists, of course, that are on the Islamic conquest to take over the nations, and they believe they're taking over Britain. And countries like Qatar are financing organizations, bodies, even individuals in this country to succeed in politics, to subvert British politics, and to roll out Sharia law, Islamic culture into Britain. That's why you're seeing it happen. That's why you're seeing people in Parliament sitting by and allowing it to happen and screaming Islamophobia at anybody that opposes it. It's because they are being bankrolled nicely, okay? So the only way we stop this thing is by democratically taking the power back from the people that are enabling this takeover of our country. The people that are enabling it, who are complicit and are allowing it, we got to take it back democratically. And the first step to that, and I know Tommy Robinson and his team understand this. That's why they're doing Unite the Kingdom. The first step is to unite the kingdom, is to unite the people, to inspire the people, to make the people wake up and realize the power is with us. The power is with the silent majority. The power is with the tens and tens and tens and millions of Brits that want our country to be great again, that want this nation to be back to where it used to be, not to be turned and ruled by Islamist sympathizers and globalist peddlers, but to be ruled and governed by people that actually love this country, that actually want the best for this country and the best for the British people. That's what we want. But first, we have to unite. So just have a watch of this.
I am honoured to invite you to Britain's largest free speech rally, taking place on the 13th of September in London. This event is not just a gathering, it is a stand for our fundamental rights.
Wait. I made the video there. I'm just a bit excited. I actually made the video. Hey! Whoever edited this at Urban Scoop, much love to you.
A gathering, it is a stand for our fundamental rights. In a time when freedom of expression is under increasing threat, it is crucial that we come together to defend our ability to speak openly without fear or restriction. Join us as we unite in support of free speech, ensuring that our voices remain heard and our freedoms remain protected. Your presence will make a difference. Together, let us make a powerful statement for liberty and justice. See you in London on the 13th of September. Thank you.
Boom, there it is. See you in London on the 13th of September. And a lot of people have been asking about details, but like it said there, the details are going to come closer to the time, okay? In terms of where we are meeting, where the stage is going to be, etc., etc. For now, you know, Central London, September the 13th. And of course, it's been an interesting time with the incarceration of Tommy Robinson for 7 months in solitary confinement and mental torture by the state on Tommy Robinson. That's exactly what's happened. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's not pretend it's something else. It is mental torture, what they've been doing to Tommy Robinson. They sat him in solitary confinement whilst jihadists and Islamists were playing pool together. People that have murdered people and plotted to murder people on a wing, playing pool together, moving around, socializing, maybe plotting the next terror attack. You never know. And whilst they are having them liberties and freedoms inside the prison, Tommy Robinson was in solitary confinement for making and playing a film that exposed the corrupt judiciary, that exposed the corrupt politicians and councils. And the amazing thing is that so many people come in the comments and say, oh, but Tommy Robinson, it was contempt of court, blah, blah, blah. It's nonsense. He was trialed without a jury. The decision was made by the judge, singular judge, and above the judge is the Attorney General, who's Labour Party to the bone. And this same judge dismissed 5 witness statements of children, dismissed them as lying. Like 5 children would be convinced to lie with their hand on the Bible in a court of law, which would obviously carry a prison sentence if proven. 5 children, and he just dismissed them. It's corrupt to the core. It's corrupt to the core. That's just the truth. So Tommy Robinson was persecuted by the state. He was politically persecuted and politically imprisoned by the state in order to silence him, in order to try and break him mentally so that he would give up on this crusade to defeat the corruption, the evil that is decaying and destroying our wonderful nation of Britain, and that is forging a future that we don't want for our children. So they want to break him for that, and they've failed miserably. He's came out stronger, more determined. And whilst he was inside, the attention of the global media has came upon Tommy Robinson and Britain and the grooming gangs and the corruption and the political imprisonments. So now it's exposed. It's in the open. It's in the public. And that was the sacrifice. That was the desired result by Tommy Robinson. And that was the achieved result. I don't know if you're catching what I'm saying. But the sacrifice was mental torture, time in prison, away from your family, in order to shine the light on all of the wrongdoing, of all of the evil that's going on in Britain, in order for the support to Ghana to be able to fix it. And now we're in that position. And now September 13th is coming. And this is Tom Robinson's return. It's not something you can afford to miss. And to be honest, whatever side of politics you're on, if you want the best for the country, if you truly want the best for this country and for your future and your children's future, be at that rally. Be at that rally. And especially if you're somebody that thinks Tommy Robinson and all of his followers are far-right racists, hooligans, thugs, whatever. If you believe the mainstream media's lies, come to that event. That's all I can say to you. Come to that event. Come and see for yourself if what the media is saying is true or not. This is the brilliant thing, that we have this opportunity in our country. That yes, you can listen to the mainstream media, but you have the opportunity to come on September the 13th and see for yourself. And what you'll find is the complete opposite. The complete opposite to what the mainstream media have been peddling. Complete opposite to what the mainstream media have been saying, not just about Tommy Robinson, but about the people that follow him, us. The people that are part of these rallies, part of these these events. It's not full of racists. It's not full of knuckle draggers like people like Farage has said. It's full of people that love Britain, that love this country, that value this country, that are concerned for the future of this country, and that are willing to stand together to try and change something. And guess what? We're getting closer to that point. We are getting closer. Unite the Kingdom, as I said, is uniting the people. Then there are a general election in 4 years' time. And all eyes are on the general election. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of movement. Of course, the Labour Party are absolutely finished. I would say the Conservative Party is all but finished. Robert Jenrick's fighting a good fight, and I think he's doing well. But who else is there in that party? It's a pretty sorry state of affairs for a party that carried Sir Winston Churchill in it. You've got UKIP with Nick Tenconi that are putting up a good fight. And Nick's somebody I've known for a number of years through Turning Point UK. And they're really doing some great work. And they're putting Christianity at the forefront, which is the correct thing to do in this time. And they're doing great. I'm sure that they're going to have an important role to play in this winning back of our nation. Then, of course, you have Reform, which in all analysis performed outstanding in the council elections. They're performing outstandingly on the polls. But there are question marks over their intentions, over their validity in terms of wanting to stand for what is best for this country and wanting to do what is best for this country. Them question marks are huge and they just cannot be ignored. They can't. We got the revelation from Ben Habib just a couple of weeks ago that, of course, Ben Habib was somebody who was kicked out of Reform Party. But the revelation that he gave was that when Elon Musk I mentioned this last week. If you were tuned in last week, you'll know this. But for those that weren't, Ben Habib mentioned that Elon Musk, if you remember, he publicly stated that he was going to back reform before the council elections earlier this year, right at the start of this year, actually. He proclaimed he was going to back reform to the tune of £100 million contribution to reform, which would have made Reform Party the most wealthy party in British politics. And that type of money should get you in a position to be able to take governance in this country, to win election, to win the general election and to take governance. It should be enough finance to be able to do that, or at least come close, but yet to be able to do it even. Then Nigel Farage went to America. Tommy Robinson, at the end of the year, was being persecuted. He knew he was going to prison. Or was he already in prison by then? I think he was already in prison by then. And Nigel Farage kept throwing Tom Robinson under the bus on the interviews, on the podcasts, on the news. Kept speaking negatively. Kept saying he's a criminal. That's why he's in jail. And then the report came out just 2 weeks ago from Ben Habib that the reason Elon Musk came out in public and said, Nigel Farage is not the man to lead Reform Party and to save Britain. The reason why he did that is because Nigel Farage was refusing to see Tommy Robinson as a political prisoner. And that's why Elon Musk said, this is not the right guy. If he can't see that Tommy Robinson is a political prisoner who's been persecuted because of what he stands for, what he's saying, and what he's projecting in his journalism, then this man is not sincere. This man is not living in reality. And he withdrew his backing for reform. And as all of you know, he then gave his backing to Rupert Law, who was still in the Reform Party at the time. But not for long, because as soon as that happened and Rupert Law was becoming more popular with the people and publicly being backed by Elon Musk, Reform created some fake story of Rupert Law bullying staffers and having dementia, put the story out all over the news and fired Rupert Law. Not only that, if that's not bad enough, because that's pretty bad, to know that they are willing to use such underhand and dirty tactics with people that were their teammates just 5 minutes ago. That type of loyalty or lack of loyalty is something that has to raise big question marks, because that's the type of people that can convince you by saying many different things to vote for them. And when they get voted in, can switch everything. That's the type of loyalty that they're displaying, and they're displayed with Rupert Law and Ben Habib and people like this. So, not only that, of course, you have the Zia Youssef situation. Mohammed Zia Youssef, a Muslim, a very serious Muslim, who was heading the party as the chairman, who was the party's biggest donor, which again questions, are Reform willing to go to the extent of what is needed to take this country back to a place of greatness, to bring it back to sanity? And we've experienced it. Of course, when it was Sarah Potchin, who's a Reform politician, who brought up the burqa ban issue. And of course, we spoke about this already, but many countries in Europe, including France, including Italy, have already banned the burqa. So it's not an outrageous thing to say, but it caused Zia Youssef to resign the following day. And then a halal debate was had a week later, and none of the Reform politicians, MPs, turned up for the halal debate. So it does beg the question, will Reform be the people that will do the things that are necessary And right now, the answer to that question has to be absolutely, unequivocally no. They might say they're going to do it, but these things that I've just mentioned really make it look like they can change at any minute. That their loyalty might not be with the British people, but with themselves. It's political aspiration, it's political desire, rather than doing the right thing for the people. And that's dangerous, all right? And then, of course, you have the people I just mentioned, the Ben Habibs, the Rupert Laws, Howard Coxes, Andrew Bridgens, that were just sent out on the scrap heap by their parties, Reform or Conservatives, whichever ones they were in, and have since then been forging maybe a unity, and have all publicly supported Tommy Robinson. And there's a lot of rumours, of course, strong rumours, maybe more than rumours, that they're going to come together. And that they're going to form this new party. Obviously, it's called Integrity Party with Ben Habib. But there's talks of Rupert Lowe coming together in that party and Elon Musk backing that party the way he was going to back Reform. If that's so, then that would be to the tune of £100 million, which would make them serious contenders for the next general election. And I do believe that many people that voted for Reform would be willing to switch to a party that would demonstrate that they were really going to stand for the British people, for the nation of Britain, that embraced people like Tommy Robinson and Katie Hopkins, popular British political figures that have been wrongly persecuted for many, many years. It would inspire, I'm sure, and engulf many millions of people around the country. And with the right promotional campaign, with the right amount of finance put into that, it could be a case just like MAGA in America with Trump, where he's able to engage, inspire, and motivate the silent majority to become politically active, to go to the voting booths and vote their way into taking their country back. It can actually happen. This is not a joke. It can happen. And I marked something out on my X account earlier. If I just open it up, let me just open it up. Where is it? And I really believe it's this simple, okay? Of course, there'll be some of the technicalities to it, but I do believe it's simple. First of all, I put this, which got quite a response. For anyone... come on, can you remove that promotion thing? For anyone pushing the lie that Islam is taking over the UK, here's the statistics. 27.5 million Christians in the UK from the 2021 census. 3.8 million Muslims in the UK. That difference is crazy. That difference is crazy. So this narrative that Islam is taking over the UK is not true. Yes, the argument will then come about the birth rates. And the argument will then come about the illegal immigration that's coming in, the millions that are coming in. Yeah, fine. But we have to talk about right now, okay? And the reason why we have to talk about right now is because this is our opportunity now, okay? It's our opportunity right now to change things. So this defeatist attitude is the first thing that needs to change. I see people in my comments on I Am British and on my X account that are, it's like, the attitude is like we've already lost. We haven't already lost. Nowhere near. Them statistics prove that we haven't lost if we were talking about the Islamic side of things. Nowhere near. 3.8 million Muslims, 24 million Christians. And then what about all of the other British people that maybe they don't say they're Christian, but they are willing and to stand for Britain as a Christian culture? What about those people? That means the numbers are totally in our favor. The numbers are stacked in our favor. I hope you see this, man. I hope you guys see this. The numbers are completely in our favor. Meaning that by come the next general election, we can take our country back for real. No joke, no fakeries. We can take this country back democratically. And that would explain to you why these globalist guys, these Islamophobia pushing guys, would want to keep us divided, would want to call everybody a racist, would want to call everybody transphobic and Islamophobic, and want to call everybody fascists and bigots and all these other nonsense that they throw around. Because they want to keep the people dumbed down, divided, so that we can't unite and take our country back. But now we can do it because the people of Britain are awakening. The mass awakening has been happening. It's been happening for the last 10 years. At the same time, and we saw Tommy Robinson mention this on the Liam Tufts podcast the other day. At the same time, there's the British Christian revival taking place with people going back to church, people going to Christ. Why? Because people have realized that the fall of Britain is perfectly aligned and correlated with the turning away from Christianity in this country. It's all aligned, perfect. When these studies come out, and they'll be coming out soon, you'll see they're perfectly aligned. And people are seeing that the answer to the problem of Islam, the problem of the globalist, is Christianity. Why are the globalists always looking to defame Christianity? How do you see the Olympics mocking Christianity? How do you see street preachers being arrested all of the time by police, and the Muslims that pray on the streets and preach on the streets are not being arrested? Why is there a consensus globally against Christianity? Because Christianity is the truth. It's the core of British culture and the Western cultures. And if they break that down, they know they've destroyed the foundation of a building. And when you if you can destroy the foundation of a building, that building is coming down. And that's what they want. They want British culture to fall. They want American culture to fall. They want European culture to fall. Why? So they can replace it with a globalized culture that's controlled, ran, and operated by globalist powers that don't need to be voted in, that can't be voted out. It's called one world order. This is not conspiracy theory. This is a reality. This is what's happening. So, isn't it funny how everything they call conspiracy theories always ends up being true? It's quite amazing that. So these are the things that they've been deploying for many years. But now we've got an opportunity because now we're coming together again. Tommy Robinson has done a lot of work, not just him on his own, but he's been the spearhead for this unification of the people, this mass awakening of the people. And now we have the opportunity to do it. So let's be united. Let's be together. And I've always said this. When it comes to me, my God comes first, Jesus Christ, number one. Number two is my country. Number three is political party. Because political party is just a vehicle for doing something. The country is what we're trying to turn around. And for me and many Christians, our God is who we serve, is who we live for. And by fixing our country, we are honoring our God because this is a Christian country. This is Christian land. So, we have this remarkable and unique opportunity in time to win back our nation. And we must do it. So it's less about the party at the minute and more about the unification of the people. That's why it's important that people go to September the 13th for Unite the Kingdom in London. That's why it's important people tune into Tommy Robinson. People tune into I Am British. People tune into these citizen journalists that are rising up. And then before we get to the next election, I'm sure it's going to be clear as to what we need to do as the British people to win our country back. I'm sure it's going to be clear. But I actually put a few points down. So let me just bring that on the screen. So I was responding to this because there was like 530 comments, a little bit of a mixed bag. And I just thought, wow, people are so demoralized. They're talking like we're defeated already. Like birth rates are going to defeat us. You heard what I said. There's a Christian revival. And the majority of the people, if you look at the study, and the study was called The Silent Revival. You can download it. It's on the internet if you Google it. The Silent Revival. And it's got statistics in there. All right? And the statistics show that the increase of people coming back to church in Britain is over 50% increase. And the purchasing of Bibles in Britain has gone up over 50%. And the majority, the age group that is increased the most in terms of coming to church and going to Christianity is the youth. So the young people are the ones that are on fire for God and on fire for Christianity. The youth. What does that mean? I am somebody, some of you might know, some of you might not, who all the way almost to the age of 30, I was a homeless street musician in Manchester, didn't believe in any God, didn't have a plan for my future, didn't have any kids, wasn't married, couldn't even drive, to be honest, didn't even have a license. But I came to Christianity, I came to the church in a remarkable way that we can go into another way, or you can find my videos on YouTube. And that changed my life completely. Now I've got 2 children and I'm planning for another 2. Why? Because when you get deep into Christianity and the biblical teachings, it molds you. Just like this country was molded by Christianity in the Bible. This country was molded by Christianity in the Bible. Exactly what Tommy Robinson said on the Liam Tuff Show. Everything that we know as normal is from Christianity. Everything. So when you get into the Bible, it begins to shape you again. And it squeezes out all of that nonsense that we've been told for the last 20, 30 years by the TV and by the media and by the education system about freedom. You don't need to have children. Women don't need to be mothers. You don't need to get married. Your wife doesn't need to be at home and look after the children. No, a woman should just go and get a career. Yeah, just go and get a career. And the softening of men and the pansying of men. That's what's been happening. That's why we find ourselves in this mess. That's why a masculine orientated, strong, aggressive culture like Islam could come into this nation and start taking territory, because they did a number on us. They did a number on us. They made us forget who we are. They made us forget that we are a Christian country and that we are people of a Christian country and our nature is from our Christian heritage. They made us forget that. And by forgetting that, we were able to become weak. But guess what? Coming back into Christianity got me strong again. Now I want to make loads of children. The Bible says, replenish the earth. So getting married and creating lots of children is a Christian principle. It's a Christian value. That's where it came from. That's why our grandparents had 7 kids, 9 kids, 8 kids, 6 kids, 10 kids. I don't know about your grandparents, but mine had 7. And their parents had 7, 8, 9, 10 as well. They were serious. but they were Christian, right? And they didn't have money. My grandparents brought up 7 kids in a Middlesbrough terraced council house, 3-bedroom council house. 7 children. Do the maths. And they all lived together in that house, all 7 of them. So there was double bunk beds in these small little rooms in the council house. That's how they lived. So the birth rates are less of a problem, because if we're coming back to Christianity, which we are, if we're coming back to our senses, which we are, and our cultural Christian identity, which we are, then we can come back fast. Even people that are a little bit older can come back to their senses. It's not too late to make children. It's not too late to get married. You can do it. But the statistics show it's the youth coming back to that culture of Christianity. So it'll be that same youth that will be going into the culture of getting married, going into the culture of having multiple children, listening to the Bible more than listening to the TV. I'm telling you. Okay, let me open up my points. Oh, they're already on the screen. I didn't know I was ranting. So here we go. Number 1, remove the defeatist attitude and grow a spine. Let's just start there. I want to go big screen for this. Listen, all of you watching. Number 1, remove the defeatist attitude and grow a backbone. Stop being like, oh, woe is me. Oh, there's so many Muslims in the country. Oh, they're taking the mayoral positions. Oh, they're taking the council position. You take the mayoral position. You take the council position. You become the next MP. Why can't you do it? You can, but you're too busy complaining. Shut up, man. Stop complaining. Let's go. It's time now. It's time to stop complaining, grow a backbone, know we're in this together. Remember who we are. Remember who won World War II. Remember who won World War I. Remember who sent a singular language around the world. Remember who sent Christianity around the world. Remember who invented every modern day poignant invention that we can talk about. Television, phones, trains. Remember who we are. We are the British. We don't back down. We don't go in the corner and cry and take some antidepressant tablets. Never. We're British bulldogs. We're warriors. We know who we are. And we're going to win this fight. We're going to win it together. None of you out there are alone. We are in this together. Okay? So grow a backbone. Let's get out there. Let's get voting. Let's get running for elections. Why are you waiting for private educated people who've never lived in working class areas to go and run for election? Why? You can do it yourself. We can do it. So, number 1, remove the defeatist attitude, please. It's so painful. I'm telling you, it's so painful. All right, what's number 2? Mobilize and get ready for elections. I just mentioned that. Oh, I like number 3. I like number 3 a lot. Citizen journalists. This is a message to all citizen journalists out there. And we've got many brilliant ones. Of course, Tommy Robinson is a citizen journalist. Urban Scoop. Mayor Tusi. Vox Populi. Street Mike. We have a lot of citizen journalists. Okay? Brilliant. Now, this is a challenge to all of you citizen journalists. We need you. We need you in this moment. The elections are coming up in 4 years. Nobody has done an extensive investigation as journalists into what goes on around the elections in this country. Nobody's done it. not an extensive one. The mainstream media are never going to do it because they're complicit. They're in the corruption. They're not going to do it. But I can guarantee you, if the citizen journalists, if you guys even join forces and investigate how is Sadiq Khan continuously getting voted as London mayor. I saw a podcast where the person on the podcast was saying right before the last London mayoral election, he dropped 5 million to the unions right before the election. So it's these financial dealings and it's the lobbies, right? The lobbyists. It's these lobbies, these Muslim organizations, these different lobbies around the country that exchange their voting power for promises from the politicians. It all needs to be exposed. It all needs to be exposed. Because right now, we can speculate that that's what's happening. And I'm sure, if I had to bet my house on it, I'm sure that's what's going on for Labour Party to get voted in the way they did, for Sadiq Khan to get voted every single time. There's shenanigans going on, 100%. And you'll find it if we follow the money and we follow the lobbying, we will find exactly what's going on. And that needs to be exposed to the whole country. No matter if they threaten jail, like what they've done with Tommy, no matter what, it has to come out before the next election. It has to. Because it's that type of politicking that's spoiling our electoral process. And if something is influencing our electoral protest in a manner that's not right or not even legal even, then it's an attack on democracy. It's an attack on our democracy. And that's what we need to put a stop to. What is the relationship between the globalists and our political parties? If our investigative journalists can get to the bottom of this, it will be marvelous. It will be astonishing. It will be a big part of us taking our country back. I'm telling you now. I don't know if you guys are out there. Drop me some comments if you're out there. I couldn't be talking to myself. You never know these things. All right, what's next on the list? Number 4, take back democratically all the mayoral positions and seats from the Islamists as well as national government. The silent majority is ready, okay? Now, let me talk about that. So, what do I mean by that? There are people sitting in our parliament right now that won elections to be MPs on the back of promising that they'll stand for Palestine in our parliament. Do you know what that says to me? It doesn't just say to me that these people are mad, which they are, because this is Britain. How can Palestine be the most important topic for somebody running for election in Britain? It's crazy. It's madness. Stupidity on a rampage, right? But it also tells me that the silent majority, all of you out there, have not yet been serious about voting. And maybe you felt like you didn't have someone to vote for. I can understand that. So that's what's got to change. And we vote them all out. Everyone's complaining about, there's 10 Islamic mayors across the country, and you see them in the hijabs, and you see them with their accents so you can hardly understand their English. Then let's vote them out. I also agree. I would rather see British Christian people in them positions, because that's our culture, and they will understand and promote and stand for British culture more than somebody that's came from Bangladesh, who's Muslim, who will promote Islamic culture. But the only way to do it is not by complaining. No, it's by finding the candidates and voting them into position. It's really that simple. And this is something we've got to do, all right? So, same with the MPs, same with the mayors. We've got to vote them out. And we've got to be strategic. We've got to be purposeful. We have to. And we can operate this type of thing via something like United Kingdom, via something like I Am British. We can once we garner enough people and enough contacts, etc., we can become the lobbyists. We can become the lobbyists and start saying, right, if you're going to stand for Britain and if your character is of the right character to stand for Britain, we got 4 million votes here. You see? So that's the next part. This is my little take our country back plan. I just tweeted it today. I didn't really have a plan for it. I just came up with it. I thought I'd share it with you. All right. Next. Change policy to point back towards our Christian cultural heritage and stand more on the Bible than anything else in policy and lawmaking. All right. Now, what does this mean? I mentioned this on the last live stream, which was basically, it doesn't mean that you or anybody else needs to convert to Christianity. No, it doesn't mean that. It means this is a Christian country that's built on Christianity. It's gone down since we turned our backs on Christianity, and Islam is trying to take over the country now, actively. They want to. Okay? In order to combat all of this Islamic nonsense, all of this LGBTQ trans ideology nonsense, all of this critical race theory nonsense, all of this hyperfeminism nonsense, to combat it all, our policy making and law making should go back to the Bible. It can, if we put it to a place where we say, we're not going to contradict the Bible in anything we do because we're a Christian country, then we automatically have the standard that is required to get rid of all that woke nonsense. Because all of that woke nonsense, believe it or not, is all anti-Christian ideology. All of it. All of it to the T. So if we go back to the standard that is the Bible, so we put that standard back in the education system, back in Parliament, back in the courts. Remember, we swear on the Bible. So we put that standard back in the infrastructure of British governance and British society. Not forcing everyone to convert to Christianity, no. But putting that standard back, I'm telling you, that means the foundation is returned. That means that we build now. We build on that strong foundation again. And we build our wonderful country back to where it was. And it won't be as difficult because we've already been there. It's just like a restoration. You know how you see a restoration on one of these wonderful old cathedrals that's been standing for 2,000 years. That's what we'll be doing. It will be a restoration job. And once the restoration is complete, we can build now into a modern and free, prosperous and great Britain. All right, next point. Banksy is live on YouTube. I can see you, Banksy. All is well. Thanks for commenting. Nice to see you. All right, next point. Number 6, declare Christianity as the nation's national religion. I mean, that's a simple one. Again, doesn't mean you've got to convert to Christianity, but we declare that is our national religion. Meaning, we are officially a Christian country. And we tolerate the practice of other religions to an extent, meaning that the practicing of the other religions cannot infringe on our values and our principles as a Christian country. You can do your practicing just like the Sikhs do, just like the Jewish people do. They practice their religions in their buildings, in their communities, and they don't cause any conflict towards the Christian British culture. Unlike Islam, that want to change the whole culture of the nation to the Islamic culture. So we put rules in place that say Britain's a Christian country and nothing's going to change that or contradict it or come against it, because we will reject it if it does. Very simple policy. Number 7, whilst tolerating other religious practices, Christianity must be treated with more advantageous manner as it is the national faith. So when it comes, there's in Britain, there should be it shouldn't be equality of all faiths. Okay? It should be the tolerance of all faiths, but Christianity is the national religion. So Christianity gets the most favor, just like it does in Italy, just like it does in many other countries, just like Islam does in Qatar, just like Islam does in UAE and in other countries. That's exactly how we've got to be, just like Judaism does in Israel. Christianity should get special treatment in this country. It's not liberal or progressive to treat all religions the same. No, because by doing that, you are literally dishonoring the religion, the God that has given us this wonderful country, that this wonderful country is built on. So by dishonoring the foundation, the power giver, the life giver of this country through its values, principles, traditions, you are dishonoring the country. So we can't do that anymore. All right? So that's what that would do. All right, number 8, one that I know everyone will agree with. Close the borders to illegal migration by taking control of our human rights and asylum policies. Simple stuff. Get out the European Commission of Human Rights fast. Faster than fast. Whatever it takes, just do it fast, super fast. And we set our own rules on asylum and human rights. And then we stop the boats. We stop people just lying at our borders in order to get into the country. We stop all of that. Then mass deport all of the illegals and those whom have entered illegally, 100%. Get rid of the criminals first. Then start getting rid of anybody that has entered illegally, just like America's doing. We can't care. We literally can't care. Whether the woke lefties are going to protest, whether the woke lefties are going to set fire to a few things, we don't care. Couldn't care less. You'll face the force of the law if you do that. And the law should be non-tolerant on public disorder like that. All right? Not like what they did in Southport, where they created public disorder in order to protect a mosque, in order to protect a building of a religion that they're being paid for at the higher level. That's what they did in Southport. And that's not the type of zero tolerance I'm talking about. I'm talking about if people want to go out on the streets and protest against the deportation of illegal immigrants in this country and they want to burn things, then they should face the full force of the law. Because it's absolutely essential. And there's a big difference, by the way, rioting against sane and necessary policies of the government, like what they're doing in America right now, and then rioting or protesting because the government has failed little children and little children have been murdered. Huge difference. All right? And if all of these lefty globalist funded organizations want to get on the streets and protest when we start doing the mass deportations, then so be it. Bring it on. We're doing it anyway. And I love that about America and Trump's regime. They are deporting people anyway. And that's how it should be. Because you can't enter a country illegally. You can't. It's just ridiculous. Honestly, it's stupid. And it's got to stop. So we stop that, all right? I know everyone's going to be in favor of that one, that's for sure. All right, what's the next one? Next one is mass deport all illegals. Yeah, we said that one. Number 10, stop the freedom of movement from the rest of Europe and require visas. Same for all those non-residents living in the country currently. Yeah, this one, very simple. And this is gonna stop the problem. Oops, sorry. Technical issue. There we go. Of all these Eastern Europeans coming over, riffraff, Romanian gypsies, sleeping in tents, attacking journalists. Why? Because the freedom of movement is nonsense. It's not beneficial at all. Oh, so we can go to Spain on holiday without a visa. Is that worth decimating our country with the lowest quality people from all over Europe? No, it's not. So we can stop that immediately. We left the EU for a reason. So all of these countries, in my opinion, it shouldn't be free movement. It's got to be visas. We've got to control the quality of the people that are coming into the country. We've got to control the length of time people stay in this country. Someone from Romania shouldn't just be able to decide, I'm going to live in Britain. And that's it. And even somebody from Poland, Lithuania, wherever, France, they shouldn't just be able to decide, I'm going to live there. And that's it. No. It's not working. It's not working. There's got to be some controls. There's got to be some mutual benefit for the nation of allowing these people to come in. Because I'm not seeing it right now. I'm not seeing it. It's a joke. So we can stop that. All right? I'm going to get through these and I'm going to call it a night. All right. Then we have foreign aid cuts like never before. Let's stop that foreign aid. That foreign aid is nonsense. Billions and billions and billions of pounds going to Pakistan, going to Palestine, going to Ukraine. It's just nonsensical. Whilst the cost of living is through the roof, whilst the British people are suffering, whilst the British people can't afford to buy houses and cars, and energy bills are going crazy, and you're sending billions. So we've got to cut all of that nonsense. And especially these countries that are going to be taking the deportees. They need to know you're accepting the deportees or that foreign aid is gone. You'll get zero. We won't cut it. You'll get zero. We'll stop it. They'll soon take them deportees. They will soon take them. Trust me. And the last one is buy British. Be strict on government contracts being given to British business. Why are we always buying things from abroad? You know, I really believe that with the right strategy, the right reinvestment of our public funds, stopping them going abroad, sending them in, keeping them inside our country, I think we can build back all our industries, all our manufacturing. Our car companies can return. Remember, we had thriving, prosperous car companies. McLaren, Range Rover, Rover. Not just car companies, but all of this stuff, electronics. We can do it in this country. Wouldn't it be great to be buying British all the time? Wouldn't it be amazing? We put tariffs on all of these countries, just like what Trump's doing. We put tariffs on all of these foreign countries in order to build our own national industries. And our economy will go through the roof. These are such simple principles that I've outlined. And I just thought I would read them to you. So, final thing before I log off for today is Yeah, the bills that were passed in Parliament, it's just a joke. What a joke. Let's start with the one today, the assisted dying bill. So basically, the parliamentary MPs voted in favour today for it to be now legal in this country and normal practice for patients to end their lives with the approval of doctors. They've got to get the approval of 2 doctors and they can end their lives. And this has got to be people who are elderly, people who are disabled, people who have supposed terminal illnesses. They're now allowed to commit suicide with the help of the doctor. The doctor will do an injection or a tablet and boom, the person dies. What world are we living in? Honestly, what country is this? Is this not the Christian nation of Great Britain? How can we support suicide? Suicide. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. What if the diagnosis given by the doctors that they're going to die of cancer doesn't happen? If that person is given the assisted dying, the suicide, maybe they were going to recover. Maybe they were going to turn around. And the threshold of being able to, for somebody to be able to legally have that suicide, it's going to be such murky waters. And what about corrupted doctors? And what about putting pressure on old people? Are the old people not going to feel pressured? Like maybe their young granddaughter or their young daughter or son is their carer, and the person that needs the care might think, well, I'm better off dead because I'm ruining this young person's life because they're busy caring for us. So let me just die instead. You see how sad that is? As a people, as a Christian nation, we don't fear going through tough times. We don't fear going through affliction. Suicide is the easy way out. It's the cowardly way out. And we should reject it at every opportunity. I lost one of my closest cousins from suicide. He took the cowardly, easy way out. That's the truth. And he just necked a load of tablets one night, and that was the end of it. But the way he was feeling that day mentally, and the way he was feeling that life was going nowhere, guess what? In 5 years' time only, which would have made him like 35 or 40, things could have changed. Things could have changed. But by ending somebody's life, you remove that opportunity for the potential of things changing in the future. You end that opportunity. It's gone. So this bill is a disgrace. It's a national disgrace. And can you imagine? It's coming in the same period as the grooming gang inquiry and all of that truth coming out about how our children have been led to the slaughter and failed by the governments and the councils. And now they're voting for assisted suicide to legally allow doctors to kill people. Man, it's crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. So the power to kill people is now in the hands of the government, the state. That's dangerous. That is so dangerous. Look what they just did to Tommy Robinson. They sent him to prison. Political persecution in prison for 7 months. They wanted to send him there longer. And this is not the first time. It's the third time they've done it. So if they can corrupt their systems in order to send an innocent person who is exposing their faults and politically exposing the wrongdoing of this government, of the people in charge. And if they can send that person to prison wrongfully and wrongfully send them to solitary confinement by twisting the system and manipulating the system and being corrupt, then what about now when the politicians have just given them power to kill people? Can they not take somebody who they want to politically murder and put him through the system and get the doctors who are paid off to say, yep, this guy's gone mental, this guy wants to kill himself when he didn't want to kill himself, and then just do it? This is dangerous. People of Britain, this is dangerous. We're giving too much power in the hands of the government and the state. And then the abortion that the same MPs voted to abort a baby all the way up to birth, meaning a beautiful new creation given to us by God, a blessing at 8.5 months, that's ready to enter the world, that's ready to take their first breath, that's ready to cry for the first time, that's ready to feed on milk for the first time, that could grow into somebody so amazing, with character, with personality, with love, and do such great things for this country. You're going to allow that baby to be murdered before it comes out of that womb. It's a disgrace. These bills need to be turned over. They're dark, they're evil. It is not in line with British culture. It is not in line with our Christian heritage. It is a perfect representative of why we need to change these people in that parliament. And we're going to do it as a people. We're going to do it as the British people, together, united. We're going to make it happen. So wherever you are watching this, just know that what's happening in a lot of these cases right now is dark. But don't be depressed, because we have the opportunity to turn it around. So don't cower away. Be more motivated. Let it motivate you. Let the wickedness and the terrible decisions motivate you even more to stand united with all of us to fix things in the next elections, to be more politically active, and to forge this great future for our country and our children and our children's children. So my name's Ricky Doolan and I am British. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on X and on TikTok. We're live every Friday night. Appreciate you all. Bye-bye.